The punter Logan Cook set to start the proceedings, and we are underway here in Jacksonville. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here come the Bengals, and CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. Burrow on play action. Now a short one to Gesicki. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 13 catches, 77 yards.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. And here are the key inactives for them in this one. And obviously, Charles, are going to be without some important names this week.
Well, hopefully those guys will be on the sidelines encouraging the guys who are going out there and helping them when they come off the sidelines during the game by giving them some tips on what they see and what they've experienced. That's true teamwork. And if you want to get to the playoffs, if you want to have a big push, you have to have that on your squad. And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Now it's Burrow. That's caught. Andre Yoshivas. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. From the 48-yard line, here's second down and 2. Now a give left side, Brown with it. And some room to maneuver. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
They go right back to the ground here, and Brown. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down. Now a 2nd and 6. In motion goes the tight end. Play action. It's Burrow. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward.
Still 3rd down.
So after the penalty, they're back to where they started, 3rd and 10. Now Burrow. Over the middle, he's got Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Evan McPherson out for the Bengal field goal. From the left hash, just a 32-yard attempt. McPherson's kick is good, and the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well. So your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
They'll get that underneath ETN. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it's second down. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Forced out to his left. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Great vision there by Lawrence as he scrambles for a first down.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Getting the football to Davis on an out route. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that will bring up second down. They'll run for the first time with Travis Etienne. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. Now Lawrence to throw. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete. The Jaguars at 6-9 to start play. And they come into this one knowing it's been a while since they've had a W. They have dropped 4 in a row.
Let me tell you, when you go a month, partner, in this league, without a victory, it gets tough to come to work every day. And in addition, you start to wonder about your job security as well.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. You talk about this Bengals defense. And they find themselves just outside the top 10 in the league against the pass, currently bringing up the number 11 spot.
And how about that last play? Did you see how quickly they got to the ball?
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jermaine Pratt fighting in and dropping him for the loss.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
So on 4th down, here's Logan Cook to punt for Jacksonville. Charlie Jones deep for Cincinnati. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. And he's in the midst of a very solid season, currently 2nd in the NFL in passing yards. The Bengals drive about to get going. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They defer to Brown to start the drive. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Right back to Brown. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
That's well done defensively. They get the pressure they needed on 3rd down. All the receivers are locked up tight, and they force that quarterback to just throw it away.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. Found good room to run there. Returns at 14 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. Well, including this week, 3 weeks remain in the regular season, Charles, and it is going to be interesting to see how this playoff picture sorts itself out before we head into the postseason.
Competitive, entertaining postseason, that's what we're always striving for. But I think we get it during the regular season, too, because you never know how things are going to go during the final weeks of the season. Every team pulling out all the stops to get a better seed or just to get one of those 7 seats at the table.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Lawrence will throw. Buying time to his, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. B.J. Hill able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Now, this is not a common sight where he runs to the open field and doesn't get away. This time, brought down for a big sack. As we said, normally, he gets outside the pocket and runs for nice yardage. Here, the exact opposite. They get him down for a double-digit loss.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Here's Jones. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and the Bengals take over 1st and 10. The Bengals offense and Joe Burrow getting set for this next drive. And he's come out of the gates hot. He's been on target with his throws, and that's reflected in the numbers as he'll look to keep it going here. A little jet sweep to start the drive. There he goes, right side. Now he's free at the 35. T. Higgins. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. T. Higgins. His first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, we're used to seeing big plays from him in the passing game. That'll obviously go as a rushing touchdown, and what a rushing touchdown it was.
And you got to think to yourself that this coaching staff has looked at his playmaking ability and said to themselves, why are we just going to throw it to him? Let's double his touches and make him a big part of the run game. That big playability that was at the forefront on that one.
So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Jaguars getting set to go as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
The numbers on the ground for ETN last week. 18 carries, 53 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football. From the 31, here's a 2nd and 8. As they've got it as we resume action. Here's Lawrence to throw. That's complete to Parker Washington. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now Lawrence. That's complete. It's Brian Thomas. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 11 more on that one and another first down. Now Lawrence. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
The 20. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Well, that turned out better than most of the passes he could have thrown on that snap. The coverage downfield was excellent, but the containment close to home left him a backdoor escape, and they paid dearly for not locking up.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Straight ahead, ETN. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. running out of the gun with ETN. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's Lawrence. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Lawrence. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
I'm actually looking at this play with defensive eyes here, partner, because they were still laser focused on him after his earlier exploits on this drive. I think they went back to the well just a little bit too soon. He got across the line of scrimmage, but they certainly weren't giving up much more than that.
And his kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. 1 play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
42 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it.
Automatic 1st down.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They keep it on the ground. Again, it's Brown. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
11 empty. 12.
From the gun, a give to Brown. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll run on 3rd down with Brown. Well, this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Holding. Offense.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Now it's Burrow. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 34-yard line. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
They go play action with Burrow. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They'll give this up the middle to Brown. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Brown. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tackles. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down.
Lawrence.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
They'll run with ETN.
And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Here's Logan Cook now to punt this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's Jones on the return.
Following the punt return here, there's someone shaken up. And not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Here's Burrow.
And just not enough on the throw there, down around his feet and incomplete.
He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
To the sideline and incomplete.
They had points on their first 2 possessions, a touchdown and a field goal, but this time, defense stands strong.
Would you say that things maybe are trending now in the right direction for them?
Better than drives 1 and 2.
There's no doubt about it. Now maybe they can exhale a little bit, gather themselves, and really get back into this game.
So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Trey Hendrickson just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another try after the first down sack.
Lawrence.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
This will be caught by Brown. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
From the gun, it's Lawrence.
Wide open receiver complete. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown.
Parker Washington.
As the first half is winding down.
And the Jaguars are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
Well, this could be a big turnaround. They get the touchdown here in the final moments of the second quarter. And remember, Charles, they're going to get the ball to start quarter number 3 as well.
So what you're saying is if they take the ball down to start the second half and score again, it could change the entire complexion of this game, couldn't it?
Absolutely. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead down to 3 at 13-10.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This was a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Jaguars ready to get going to start quarter number 3. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
Now 2nd and 9.
Looking to throw. Lawrence. Thomas has got it. Complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
A shotgun snap and again to Etienne.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Throwing on 2nd down.
Lawrence. Screenplay. Here's Etienne.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
Etienne up the middle.
And now a fumble. The ball's out.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
So the opposite of what they envisioned when they left that locker room, a turnover on the opening drive of this third quarter.
I like your identification there because that's exactly what they discussed in the locker room before they came out on the field. Let's get the ball. Let's go down and score, put some points on the board, and feel good about it. Not an insurmountable lead, but...
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Lawrence, now this is ETN on the draw. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And a nice milestone reached on that last throw is here late in the season. He goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
Operating from the gun, Lawrence to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
On that snap, he's a hero of his defense after the play he just made. A one-possession game, and his hit kept it exactly that.
Here we go.
Back to the ground with ETN.
And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. A nice run there, 8 yards, moves him much closer to the goal line now for 3rd down.
Once more ETN. And this time he is into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Extra point forthcoming. And that will make this a 4-point game. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays.
And it was capped off by a Travis Etienne touchdown run. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half.
And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, 1-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth, almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just there, you know, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side, trying to match each other.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They're passing here. Joe Burrow throwing the out route incomplete. That's Burton. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3.
Running right, here's Brown. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out come the Jags. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
And he'll get about 3 up past the 25.
The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Fourth down now after a loss of 2.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Here's Logan Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. On the return is Jones. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give him 9, though, on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. And they'll begin here with a run by Brown. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40.
59 yards rushing for him now to this point. Here's 2nd and 3.
Burrow looking to pass. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Burrow will throw.
This one complete to Yoshivas.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Handing it off to Brown.
Down to the 42, 2nd down.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
12, 12, 12. 11, 11. 11 Thomas. 11 MT. Hey.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
What I continually hear from running backs and offensive linemen is how often they're actually getting together to watch film so they can get in sync with each other.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Mike Gesicki, his 5th touchdown now on the year.
And the Bengals have retaken a 3rd quarter lead. Well, he is such a matchup nightmare down near the goal line, CD, and another example right there on that play for the touchdown.
It's borderline impossible to defend this guy because that kind of size, he can still get out and run a crisp route, and he has excellent hands. Even if you stick with him, all the quarterback has to do is lob it up, and he can win almost any jump ball.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Jaguars offense and Travis Etienne set to take over once again. And he's had his fair share of troubles in this one, unfortunately. This defensive front has wreaked havoc throughout the contest, and he hasn't been able to create enough space to make something positive happen to this point.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Back now in Jacksonville. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
On 2nd and 9, Lawrence. Man open left side is Brown. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, this offense hasn't been at their best here. They've made some mistakes. They've been frustrated. They've been largely shut down. But then you look up and say, wait a second. This is a one-score game. So they're still very much in this, and they're on the move here with a first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. This will be caught once again by Brown. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row, first down. Here's a give to Etienne. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 49 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. A handoff for Etienne. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. They'd love to get a little closer if they need to kick the field goal on 4th down. From this spot, it's 46 yards. On 3rd down, here's Etienne. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And his kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The visitors' offense and running back Chase Brown set to take over once more. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. They defer to Brown to start the drive. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Brown with his stick skills. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield. This 2nd and 4.
11, mighty. 11, 11. Behind.
Here's Zach Moss, who played high school football downstate near Miami. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down.
11 MT.
They'll try and run for this with Moss. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Well, partner, that's one of the problems when you sell out to stop the run on 3rd and short. Sometimes you break that initial wall and you go a long way.
So how do you prevent it?
That's tough to do. That really is tough to do. And one of the things offenses like to do nowadays in practice, they do a lot of working against equal numbers. They'll start putting more and more numbers on defense and just telling the offensive guys, figure it out. Learn how to block it. We may see this situation.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Now Burrow. Got him in. It's Brown. So they'll get nothing out of that play. 3rd and 7 now. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to break our 4th quarter tie. McPherson's kick is good, and they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Jaguars offense and Trevor Lawrence getting set for this next drive. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. And he'll get this to the 32.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
On 2nd down, ETN once more.
And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
Now Lawrence to throw.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out, but you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line.
The visitors' offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Muscles him off. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Here we go with Burrow. Being chased out left. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. So here now, Lawrence and the Jaguars.
Down 23-20, just over 1:40 to play. Now their losing streak in danger of continuing as they come up on 1st down.
Pass complete, Thomas.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
They come up now on 2nd and 2. Here's Lawrence.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Here now, third down. Lawrence. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
Here we go. Got to have it. Lawrence. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted.
And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
The Bengals go down to a knee in the victory formation. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. And they will take a knee here.
12, 12, 12.
Burrow down to a knee, and that should be the final act of this one.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. They set the goal beginning of the year, hey, let's win 7 games. Unfortunately, with this loss, they can't do it.
So now to be interesting to see how they respond as a team, because sometimes when you set goals, if you don't achieve them, you don't care anymore. You let everything else go. I want to see if they're going to continue to fight, scratch, claw, do whatever to try and get as many wins as possible, even if it doesn't reach their stated number.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Jacksonville.